had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
I really like the way that Barry speaks.
Barry, you found him.
Barry's nice.
Oh wow, I was just thinking
Barry
about
adds
you too.
a lot of levity in
I
these
was just
scenes
thinking
in
about
this
some
game,
coffee.
which
He's
otherwise
on
would be
the
kind of
balcony,
more
looking at the
depressing
nets.
if it was just
Poor
Wake.
thing.
Yeah.
I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later.
You can even tell that, like, Barry, or Alan, like, warms up to Barry a little bit more. Like,
What an airhead.
once you progress through the story.
Yeah. Well, I like to think that they've always been close. It's just the fact that Alan like hides it under a bunch of smarm and like backhanded comments.
Yeah, and even with that, I think it could also be just because, like, you know, he's under so much stress, like in the very beginning, but like as it progresses, he, like, you know, becomes a little more adjusted.
Yeah, he loosens up a bit.
Yeah, and then this is Bucktooth Charlie, a mammoth that was found here.
I'm not
In
gonna. I'm not gonna lie. I thought like Bucktooth Charlie was like a beaver that was at the desk.
it would make more sense, right? Because tusks aren't buck teeth.
No, they are sort of like teeth, but I assume
They're
like
technically teeth, but tusks are a little different. They're specialized teeth.
yeah, but like when I think of like a mascot, you usually want it to be like kind of cute, right? And who doesn't love beavers?
Yeah, I mean it's a park. I mean, yeah.
Seriously,
So
Al, what you were saying in the car?
called
Listen
Elderwood.
to
You can't
yourself.
really have a cute
You
thing with
shot
that kind of
Barry,
name.
And his body
No.
just disappeared. When was the last time you slept? Are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week. And someone's got Alice.
Do you
And everything's just...
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong. It's a good story. Could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
All right, so
Here I'm trying to explore all these different rooms, which you can't get into. Not yet, I don't think. But I think you can later. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
you can later, but like just like a lot of like early
Oh, look
episodes.
for circuits.
Oh, too bad we can't take those with us.
That's what I'm saying. Kind of wish you could. And look at all those drinks and snacks. The snack's called Big Stuffer?
Big stuff.
And
I
they
don't-
look like they're just Cheetos.
I don't want to eat anything that sounds like big stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to stuff you, dude.
I was
I
like,
think
that.
it's just called regular stuffers, but it's like puffy Cheetos.
You rent cabins.
Let's guess.
Oh,
Like,
Mr.
I
Wake.
feel bad for the person that's
Shake
gotta
your
like
hand, but
advertise
mine are kinda
that.
full here.
Yo, how do
So-
I make this
Actually,
sound
I'm
more
sorry about
appetizing
this.
than it actually
Would
is?
you mind grabbing the registration
Or
form
what its
from the
name
desk?
implies.
It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
That's like, it's not the dumbest thing I've heard. It's like, the dumbest thing I've heard is like, what they call FedEx in like, Silent Hill 3.
What they call it?
They call it Fetty Espresso.
That's actually pretty good.
FedEx.
I'd rather not leave him alone just yet.
So you might notice here that I walked back because I didn't realize that I left in the middle of the conversation beforehand, so I walked back just to hear the rest of it.
Good.
Those situations
Alright,
always
this
end up in
form.
disaster.
This form, he doesn't even write anything.
And it's my call.
He writes like an
Can we talk
X.
about this later?
No, he didn't even have a pen.
Oh,
Listen,
he bleeds
you
ink.
hit your head. I mean,
He is a writer.
come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
Yeah. Quit it, Al.
I just love how like once Barry hits the picture, we get a couple scenes where you know,
And here are the keys. Okay,
they're a little
you're
bit
all
more
set, Mr.
relaxed.
Wake.
Like the early scenes where it's just Wake and there's like no darkness,
Can you tell me how to get to Lover's
are a
Peak?
bit somber.
Oh, sure.
And that's
Oh
fine.
yeah,
nature trail.
yeah.
Just follow
But,
the
you know,
paths, you'll get to it eventually.
it's nice the
an
fact that
easy
like
walk.
Wake has
Not a
someone to
slide,
talk
too.
to that's a little bit, you know.
He's the comedic
Having
relief.
trouble finding
Mhm.
it? Just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's
Uh,
right below that.
What else does he have going for him?
He's got a nice, funny red
You're asking me to believe
coat.
that you shot
He has
a
a
dude who
nice,
went
colorful like
into
outfit.
thin
Like
air, a guy who
compared to
was
Wake, his
bulletproof
outfit
until
is way
you
more
pointed a
colorful and
flashlight at
vibrant
him. You hear
to
that
offset
from
like
people who end up spending time in padded rooms.
Yeah, it's
Wake.
weird. He wears like capris, I guess, with his jacket.
Well, you're not supposed
It
to.
looks like he was just like at a vacation or something, and he just really quickly put on this stuff just so then he can go visit Alan.
Well, like the Hawaiian shirt, I figured would be something he'd just wear normally,
Guess the laughs
and
Yeah,
like everything else
probably.
he just threw on because like, oh, well, this might look like something I need
okay.
here.
Okay, maybe
Mhm.
something weird happened to you, okay?
Like,
Thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
like Barry
All I'm
definitely
saying
feels
is
like
you
a
gotta
tourist
throw
that you
me
would
a
see
bone
somewhere
here,
here.
bestseller. What would you think
And
if it
you
was
know
me?
what? He
There's
does
no way you
definitely
should be
look
going out at midnight
like a
with gun.
tourist.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this
And he
or
is
go
one,
straight back
so-
to New York.
Yeah,
Your
technically.
choice.
So is Wake. All right, to the cabin.
That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak.
I don't think he knocked down that lamp very well.
Okay then.
No.
I understand.
He should have broke.
You're my best friend.
That's
and
why
I'm
you can't
worried
punch
that you're not right in the
Duckles.
head. Tell
All
me
his
what to
strength
do
is
to
in his
help,
legs.
and I'll do it.
You stay
Yep.
here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Bless you.
Just be
Also,
careful
I'm
with
keeping
the
a
native
close
Al.
eye on the clock,
These young kids are dangerous.
folks.
Everybody
'Cause,
hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all
Fun
over
fact:
again.
we are recording this before I have to go to work, and who's here? Please leave. We're doing stuff.
Yeah,
Although
we're actually busy.
Oh, sorry.
it's okay. Folks at home, that was Aries, who will never show up again. Hopefully, not that we don't want him, but this is like,
Yeah, this is our show.
yeah, it's our show. I'm gonna put like, imagine I put like guest starring areas for like all of 2 seconds.
Yeah, we can. It's alright.
That's funny. Shout out to Aries. Okay. So anything you want to talk about, like, when you, because you went through this episode. Or-
Yeah, I was just kind of going around, going and trying to see all the other different switches that I could try out. Because, I mean, there's a lot of things you can interact with in this game. A lot of stuff that will activate, like, you know, different conversations or lines from any character. So I was just kind of, like, looking around. Also, because collectibles, and I was trying to see if there was any coffee thermos that I missed. Also, that well is completely filled and dry, so
So nothing.
can't get anything out of there. And I think this is supposed to be a hot tub, but I wasn't sure.
I always find hot tubs outside of cabins weird for some reason.
Hot tubs, I don't think should ever be an outside thing. I think hot tubs should be specifically inside. Just
Ah.
this whatever.
The house?
Also, like, I understand that he's trying to talk to us, but he's talking to us from like so far.
Yeah.
There I was trying to do some cool parkour shit and just jump off the stairs.
Is it really parkour if all you did was just jump off a couple steps and try and
Yes.
break your ankles?
Yes.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented.
It's not that young.
It wasn't a long walk to the
That's
visitor
real
center.
damage.
And
I was really trying to see if you could use the car, because I was like, you know, I've walked down here before, but I've never seen if you could actually use the car before.
And unfortunately, you cannot.
With Barry for
Nope.
trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
So, I believe from this point onward with episode 1, it wasn't that difficult. I had like plenty of resources to work with. And even during like intense fights, like I still walked out with like decent amount of like ammo and energizer batteries. But Omu, what can you say about your run through of episode 2?
So this episode, you'll actually see that I went through quite the opposite. I didn't. I ran out of. I think I ran out of ammo, so I had to just dodge to the.
Oh, hello.
Well then. Anyway, here's our favorite radio man. But I ran out of ammo sometime later in the episode. It was awful. I had to run. I don't think I died, but I ran.
I'm like curious. Is that supposed to be like, is that like an actual enemy passing by, or was that just like a thing they put to make you uneasy? I've never seen that before.
I don't know. I can't remember if there's an actual enemy outside, because I think all the enemies spawn after you go visit whatever.
Still though, that's like a thing that's actually kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I usually love games that put stuff in there like they don't actually do anything, but like just to freak you out. And then like it's hard to trigger again, so you're not sure whether or not it was like intentional or was like a one-time thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is just a one-time thing. It's just something that gives you some anxiety. If you notice it, there's a lot of scares I see that you do kind of do miss in this game. Mostly like enemies, because you can't hear them approaching from behind unless they make a noise.
Considering your track record, the participants are probably pretty happy you feel that way. Well, Pat, that's kind of you to say.
And then I think I tried to go outside to see if I could find the guy, but he's not there at all.
Okay. So I'm starting to think that was like an Easter egg or something like that. Or something.
Maybe a little bit of a scare.
Just to keep...
Also, there's that sound, and I realized later on that that's supposed to be... That's a sign that there's coffee nearby, also that swing by itself. But I couldn't find the coffee. I think I just left. So I'm missing a coffee.
Okay, so I can't really hear it, I think. And I don't think I ever picked up on it in Alan Wake. But it could be the fact that my hearing is just shit.
Probably.
Like, or it's like I need to pay more close attention. Or, as Bonnie would put it, I need to hear better, or hear good.
Yeah, you kind of do have very bad hearing one.
I have a lot of bad everything.
Yeah, it's okay. And this one's a more abandoned cabin.
Which we also get to kick down.
Yes. Very comedically, it falls down.
Just all the crows waiting in the back, like, who that?
I think they talk about this cabin. Oh, and here we go. Night Springs.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs. Tonight's episode...
That reminds me, I just finally got to like season 2 of The Twilight Zone. It's pretty good.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. Or Twin Peaks.
Production value's definitely gone up for Twilight Zone.
Man, I could have started that. Instead, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal.
Yeah.
Why? Coming? Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took your kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like
didn't like his face?
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. But the white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
I don't understand any of this.
And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me again, Agent. Maybe in the mirror.
Yeah, I didn't get this at first, but yeah, it's about doppelgangers.
Yeah. Which, of the ones I can remember, which aren't many, this one I actually really like, because just how bizarre the premise is.
Yeah, because he beat up a guy who's exactly like him, but
But then it's
there was
like,
no ID on him. But he had the same fingerprints, so
it's
it was
like,
weird.
but he went to the game too, so like, is he an
Yeah.
imposter? Was he? Like, it's
He
a lot of
was-
questions.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm like talking about this a little bit too early, but for anyone who remembers the Night Springs one from the first episode and the Night Springs episode that we saw there, there's a continuing theme of self-harm that runs through the both of them. Because in the last one, one of the points of that episode was the fact that like the professor would shoot himself but would harm other copies of him in other universes. And in this one, it's a literal doppelganger harming another lookalike or something like that.
Well, a doppelganger is a lookalike already.
Well, yeah, I for some reason I like messed that up, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be a lot of walking here, but there's not a lot of like thick forest. There was an episode.
It'll happen in a bit.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me!
You're gonna jump.
Yeah, dude. Jumping in this game is a lot faster than just regular walking, and it doesn't use up any stamina. So
But
you can just keep on jumping.
But it ruins the tension a little bit because you look like a Momo.
No, what are you talking about? You don't run like that?
No.
Also, look how much blood he lost.
Yeah.
Mr. Wake? Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must. The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back.
He already looks like he's dead.
Yeah.
But
You
he's
got
not.
you had a quick look at that leg.
Rusty had found a page from the
Oh, ooh, gee. I didn't even notice that before.
Like I paid attention on like the second play. Oh, and now I think we can get stuff back there.
Nah, there's nothing there. We
Okay.
were already back there.
Okay, but like look at this like whole like
At least, whatchamacallit, Buck2 Charlie's okay.
Oh, thank God. What would we do without him? But like, yeah, he looks like he was just dragged
The
along
only
that
way to
shit.
make sure that Rusty
But
was safe
yeah, his
was
leg
to
is fucked
power
up. He's
run
not
and the
he's not
lights
going
back
anywhere.
on.
I also forgot that we were actually down the road from Rusty. For some reason, I thought like we were like this area was like where we were when we started this.
Mm-hmm.
Manuscript. When do you read any of these, by the way? Because you picked up 2 so far and not looked at a single one.
I never read them.
Great. Alright. I think there's one that we get in this one where it highlight. Oh.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
I don't suppose.
Yeah, he sounds like it'll be okay.
I have a feeling he's not going to be upset that we can turn the lights back on.